Hi everybody, I'm George Ryals from Archery Learning Center. I am here to show you how to sight in the UV3XL 3-pin hunting cartridge. This thing's pretty cool. It has 3 pins. It has one fixed pin which is in the middle, and then it has a mobile pin on top and on the bottom, and then they have this little tiny pin down at the bottom that they call a bonus pin. So I'm going to show you how I sight this in. There's any number of ways that you can choose to treat the pins. Some people use the top pin as the base mover. Some people want to use the bottom. But the way that I do it is the fixed pin in the housing, the middle pin. I use that as my mover, and I use my top pin for my under, and I use my bottom pin for my over. So what I'm going to set my bow up is when my middle pin is on 30, I'm going to set the top pin in for 20. I'm going to set the bottom pin in for 40, and then we'll figure out where this bonus pin actually hits at when my pin is on 30. So I know what the full spectrum of the pins will hit without moving my mover sight. So I'm going to go through how to move and make the adjustments when you do have to move the pins around. It's super easy. Again, I let my middle pin be the one that's the floater. That moves around with my knob and my sight marks. So now, to move these, it's super simple. See, there's a little indicator in there, and there's hashes so you can tell how much you're moving them. And then I just loosen the screw, and then I can easily slide the pin up and down through its range to adjust that and put it where I need that to be. Sometimes it may be easier just to take the cartridge out, and so you can hold it in your hand and really see what you're doing. It may make it a little easier. So the good news is you can take this cartridge out and put it back in, and everything will still be dead on like it was before, so you don't have to worry about doing that. One more little thing just to save you in the event that something has to be changed or something. Once I got done sighting my bow in, I took a photo of my sight so that I could see where my sight pin settings were. You see there's some little hashes and things there. So that way I have this picture, so if I need to refer and see where all of those pins are set so that I could get back to my proper spot, I have this and so that I can do that. All right, so we're all set up. I've got some little markers set out. We're back here in the back alley behind Archery Learning Center. This is where we do a lot of our outdoor shooting. And I have this target set up for sighting in. So an interesting tip here for you is that instead of sighting in on a dot or a target, I use a horizontal line. So that way I can let my pin drift left and right on the line, but I make sure that my yardage on my pins are exactly accurate. So when I go to other ranges that are measured out, I know that my bow is sighted in to my rangefinder and it is deadly accurate. So if you're using a sight mark making app or something like that, using a line to make sure that your yardage marks are accurate will help you put accurate information into your sight marking app. Today, we're going to sight in the 3-pin. I already have all my distances sighted in here, so I know that my middle pin is already good to go. So we're just going to figure out where 20 is. So if you look here on my yardage marks, you can see the distance between 20 and 30. So because I have my center marks already sighted in for my middle mover pin, I just took my dial caliper and then measured the distance in between the marks, so then I could tell how far apart to set my pins here. And I set my pins by just moving the top pin up and down or the bottom pin up and down. So I've already kind of pre-measured. I've got these pre-measured out so that we're at least in the ballpark, and this video doesn't take 20 minutes to sight in. So here we go. Let's try 20. So I'm all set up for 20 yards. And let me make sure I have my sight set on 30. I almost forgot to do that. So I'm going to put my center mover pin, I'm sighting that in on, I have it set to 30, and then I'm going to lock that down. And then I'm going to aim with the top pin to make sure that I can hit the line at 20 with my top pin. That was a pretty good guess. That looks like that's about ½ inch high. I'm going to shoot one more just to make sure. And that one's touching the bottom line. So I got one above and one below. I'm going to shoot one more and see if it's, figure out which one do I need to adjust the sight for. I'm going to make sure that these are right on the line. And that one looks like it's right there. So let's go see what we got. So I've got the first shot that I shot was a little bit high. It probably wasn't the best aim shot. This one is touching the bottom of the line, and this one is touching the top of the line. So it's easy to say this mark is probably dead on good. I'm going to shoot a few more arrows just to make sure that it's as on as I want it to be. But a side note about this line is about the width of the X ring in a Vegas target. So at 20, if your skill level isn't to the point that you can hit an X every shot with your hunting bow on a Vegas target, you may have to, well, I got some above, I got some below, I got a couple on it, and you can say that that's pretty good, right? The farther away you get, you can use a thicker line that's easier to aim at, or you can just make sure that your vertical scatter is centered on the line. So now I'm standing at 40, I've got 20 sighted in, it's dead on. I am gonna skip 30 because I know my middle pin is whatever my indicator needle says is the yardage, so we know that that's dead on already. So now I'm gonna check my bottom pin for 40. I've already kind of pre-measured that out. So hopefully we can get this in just a few arrows. So here we go. I didn't take the time to make my line fatter at 40, so it's going to take a little bit of a steady aim just to keep this pin on that little skinny line. That is dead center on the line. I did a good guess. I did a good guess on that one. I already have my sight tape all measured out and planned and dead on with my middle pin, so that's why I didn't go to 30 to double check the 30, because I know that it's on. So now I'm at 40. The first shot has hit the line, so I'm just going to shoot a couple more and just make sure that that wasn't luck. Oh yeah, that's right there. So 40's on. So measuring it with my calipers really shortcutted this whole project of sighting in this 3-pin. So if you have a machinist rule or something like that to cheat code this a little bit, it'd make it be a little faster. Yeah, that's right there. So that's good. Let's go grab those and then we'll check the bonus pin, see where that's at. First 2 shots are on the line. Second one is just a little bit high. So I'm gonna call that good. It's not easy to aim, even with the smaller pin on the bottom. It's not easy to aim at a line this thick. You see it's only a little bit bigger than my finger. So I'm gonna call this good. I think that's pretty accurate for 40. So I'm gonna go back. My measurements have told me that my bonus pin should be on at about 52 yards, just measuring it out with my center pin dialed to 30 on my sight bar. So I'm gonna try that out and see if it is actually 52 or so. So then I know I'll have, without moving anything, if my sight's set on 30, I'll have 20, 30, 40, and if it works out, I'll have like a 52, all right there without moving anything. So if a deer surprises me and he comes out in those mid ranges, I can just pin gap him and still get the shot if I don't have time to set my mover on the exact distance. All right, my measurements tell me that my bonus pin should be on at 52. So I've gotten here at 52 yards and I'm gonna shoot a shot, just see how good my measurements is. But what I'll do to figure out the bonus pin, if this hits high or low, I'll just kind of move my position until I figure out where it hits, and then I'll measure it with my rangefinder, so that way I know at all times where that bonus pin is when I have my sight set on 30. All right, so here we go. That is about 8 inches low. So let's try straight up 50 and see where that is. As you may have noticed, this bow is only 60 pounds and I'm shooting a pretty heavy arrow. It's kind of slow, but it really kills the deer, so I'm really happy with it. There it is right there. So 50, my bonus pin is dead on at 50. So that's super handy. So with my particular bow speed, I now have 20, 30, 40, and 50 right here in my pin housing. And I can run my middle pin all over my sight scale. I can shoot 100 yards if I want to. So the flexibility of this 3-pin sight and the ways that you can sight that thing in is amazing. And if you're deer hunting and you think that you may be in a situation where you won't be able to range find and then move your sight, this will be the thing that you want. UV3XL multi-pin sight.